Denise.
This meeting is being recorded.
Hi, everyone. We're going to give Zoom a moment here to catch up with everybody. Glad you are with us here today. We're just going to, again, give a moment here to let the participants all enter the webinar room. Glad you are with us here today with the National Community Action Partnership and our colleagues over at Amazon Business. We'll just give it another few seconds here, and then we'll go ahead and get rolling. Hello, everyone. Again, Denise Harlow, CEO here at the National Community Action Partnership. A couple of housekeeping issues. First, we are recording today's webinar, and we will be posting the recording up on our website under our endorsed vendor page and be sending it out to everybody who registered here for today's webinar. We'll also be sharing a copy of the slide deck, so you'll have that as well, and we'll be posting that up on our website as well. We do have the option for you to ask questions today. We aren't able to unmute you at this point, so we're going to ask you to put your questions into the chat and or the Q&A box. We'll be keeping an eye on both and ensure that we pose your questions to our colleagues at Amazon. And if we can't get to your questions today, I'm sure they will find time to be able to answer your questions and be responsive to you. So that's the technology pieces for today. So we are excited today to launch what's been in conversation probably for over a year, is a relationship with Amazon Business. We know that, especially during the pandemic, so many more folks have shifted to online purchasing. And community action agencies, you have been doing online purchasing. You have quite a big footprint when it comes to the purchasing space. And the partnership, as you know, we've had long time group purchasing products and services and things like that for our members. And when we had conversations with Amazon Business, they were very open to having this network portal. So member organizations of the partnership can increase the savings that they have on the monetary side of their mission and money equation. We oftentimes talk about the dual bottom line, right? We have to ensure that financially we are well managed, and we need to have a big impact on the mission side of that equation. And the more you can save on the financial side, the more you can spend on the mission side of the equation. So we so appreciate Pete Warsnikoff, excuse me, Pete, for probably not getting your last name right. My apologies. And working with you to develop an arrangement, to develop a memorandum of understanding. And many of you who were with us in Boston a few months ago got to see Amazon Business on site in our vendor hall, hopefully got a chance to meet with them. And today we're excited to roll out officially this new relationship and new partnership. So Pete, I'm going to turn over to you and Matt Major, and we look forward to today's conversation. And please, everybody, put your comments into the chat or Q&A window. We want to make this as much of a dialogue as possible. Pete?
That's great, Denise. Thank you for an outstanding intro. We very much appreciate it. Before we even get into it, I did want to take a moment to recognize and say thank you to you, the audience, the community action agencies, for attending and showing us your attention today, but also for all the work that you do day in and day out, serving our communities across the U.S. Also, a special thank you to the National Community Action Partnership team, Denise, yourself, Jovita, and Madison specifically, for your time and effort throughout, and especially over the last couple of weeks, setting up this opportunity to allow us to present today. We very much appreciate it. So just to set some expectations here time-wise, this slide deck that we'll go through this webinar is in essence really broken down into two sections. I'll be presenting the first half or speaking to it, and my colleague Matt Major will be doing the second half. But the first half is going to cover at a very high level the benefits of the Amazon Business Marketplace. And then halfway through, Matt will jump in and discuss a new program that we just launched, which is exclusive to National Community Action Partnership members. And I know this is a Monday webinar, so we want to make sure that we keep it exciting. I did want to let you know that there will be prize call-outs based upon program enrollment this week. So we'll start with introductions on our end. One or two of these faces may actually look familiar, but we'll go left to right here. So starting with Matt, he's a senior customer success manager. He's been with Amazon for 5.5 years. As I mentioned, he'll be presenting in the second half, and he really played an integral part and helping to establish the exclusive set of features for the National Community Action Partnership members that will be covered here in about 15 or 20 minutes. Myself, I've been with Amazon for about 5.5 years. I've been working with Community Action Agency since I joined this team in July of last year. My name may look somewhat familiar because I did help set up Amazon Business's presence at CapCon last year, and I was owning the virtual booth. So my name may look familiar. Plus, I've also met with a handful of you as well, too. Moving on to Nick Ferrucci. He's been with Amazon over 3 years. He may physically look familiar because he was at CapCon last year. He actually attended and represented Amazon Business in one of our booths for, I believe, 2 or 3 days. We also have Sydney Zeller, who started at Amazon 7 days ago. This is her week anniversary. We couldn't be more excited to welcome her to the team. And lastly, we have Atiba Phillips. So he actually started in his nonprofit customer advisor role today. So he's been at Amazon for roughly 6 hours. So 4 out of the 5 of us, Nick, Sydney, Atiba, and myself, we are going to serve as your direct points of contact moving forward as your Amazon Business nonprofit customer advisors. And we sincerely, with all the work that we've done together as a team, we couldn't be more excited about the opportunity to continue working with you moving forward. Next slide, please, Matt. So what we'll cover in the first half on my side will be the Amazon Business features and benefits. This will apply to all participants on this call today, whether you have an Amazon Business account today and are a National Community Action Partnership member, or if you don't use Amazon today and you don't have a National Community Action Partnership or any mix of those two, this section really was tailored for you as a community action agency based upon the conversations that we've had with you over time, specifically covering the breadth of selection that we have on the marketplace. To Denise's point about passing on the savings through quantity discounts, whether you're shopping for virtual return to office IT products, or if you're looking to source products from diverse and credentialed suppliers to meet your grant funding needs. And then lastly, we'll talk very briefly about reporting and logistics functionality, such as the ability to ship to multiple addresses. And as I had said, the second half of the webinar, which will be hosted by Matt, is focused on the Associated Account Program benefits, which if you are a National Community Action Partnership member, you did receive, I believe, a reminder email shortly, or this morning, or shortly before the meeting too. So you'll want to reference that later. But again, that'll be covered by Matt, and we'll go over how to enroll, next steps, and of course, we'll leave time at the end for a Q&A. Next slide, please, Matt. So before we get into the actual benefits, I want to clarify before we move on. These benefits in today's presentation applies to Amazon Business, emphasis on the word business. It's possible that you do use Amazon today, like I do, through a consumer account, but don't actually use Amazon Business. So what I mean by that is you may be using an Amazon consumer, or also known as an Amazon Prime account. Amazon Business, amongst many other benefits, which we'll cover here in a little bit, allows you to create a free business purchasing account, and for 501c3 nonprofits specifically, allows you to upload your tax exemption documents and get discounted pricing on Prime. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Next slide, please, Matt. Let's start at the top with the power of Amazon. So why it's such a powerful marketplace today. Number one, it's choice. You have access to literally hundreds of millions of products on Amazon Business, and you can find everything from laptops to diapers to PPE and COVID supplies to portable AC units. Second is the competition piece of it. So the fact that this is a dynamic marketplace means that there are often many sellers that are offering the same product. What that means for you is it allows for price competitiveness, so savings, and also the ability to choose who you buy from. So if you want to purchase from diverse and credentialed suppliers, you have the ability to do that. And then lastly, transparency or visibility for all. What does that mean? It means that seller ratings, product reviews, and similar offers are all available on one page. Next slide, please, Matt. So let's talk a little bit more about the savings and selection. So as far as savings go, as you'll see in the table on this slide, break room, office supplies, IT peripherals, janitorial, and sanitation are just a few of our stronger categories where we offer tons of selection. So amongst those, there's a combined 57 million products and an average of 14% savings across these categories. So a concrete example, the best way to think about it is a case of copy paper, and I mean a full 10 ream case of 8.5 by 11 copy paper for National Community Action Partnership members will be $30 and is typically $40 to $50 through other large office wholesalers. So if you're, by the way, before we move on to the next slide, if you're currently an Amazon business customer or looking to enroll and you're using a big box wholesaler for any of these categories and you'd like to explore how Amazon Business can offer you savings in these categories, let one of us, your customer advisors, know, and we can help complete a supplier or a product basket analysis, which will highlight your savings by category if you'd like to move this spend over to Amazon Business. We're happy to walk you through that process. Next slide, please, Matt. So the Amazon Business benefits, quite honestly, there's a bunch. And as I had mentioned earlier, I did my best to tailor this to community action agencies over discussions that I've had with you all over the last 9 months or so. So here's a few. Business pricing. So this is a feature that is automatically available to you as an Amazon Business customer and offers you discounted pricing when you're buying a single unit of something, anything. Quantity discounts, as the name suggests, these are volume tiered discounts, essentially a buy more, save more feature, and it's prominently placed on the product detail page, so you can't miss it. Moving on to Amazon Business Analytics, for those of you that are in a finance role or administrative role, or if you just like data in general, you'll have access to tons of purchasing data that you can share amongst your team too. And lastly, Business Prime. So has a ton of awesome features. For starters, it's discounted up to 65% for nonprofits. It's discounted even further for National Community Action Partnership members for 1 year. You'll probably know of it because of its free 2-day shipping on eligible items. And the best part about it is that the Prime benefits apply to all of the users that would be on your account. Next slide, Matt. Customer quotes. So talking even more about discounts in addition to business pricing and quantity discounts. This is a true business-to-business feature. If you're buying anything in bulk, and I mean anything, whether it's laptops, monitors, toys and games for Head Start program, LIHEAP weatherization products, custom quotes, as the name suggests, allows you to request a quote from hundreds of our pre-vetted suppliers. Speaking from experience and having gone through the tool itself, I can confirm that it's easy to use. It's a self-service feature and typically offers you savings of 20%. The steps are pictured here. We can share this with you, but it really starts, there's only 5 steps. It starts with just going to the product detail page and finding the buying in bulk link. If you have any questions as you go through it, your customer advisor can help. We can even help demo the features for you as well. Next slide, please, Matt. Common featured configured. So I wanted to briefly touch on the account configuration piece. So that's comprised of account structure, payment management, approval workflow, and Business Prime. And these are the topics that we always cover with community action agency customers to ensure that their accounts are optimized to save you time and money. So here's, if we look at combining all of those, here's what a hypothetical situation looks like. Whether you're new to Amazon Business and are looking to create a free account, or if you're an existing Amazon Business customer, here's what these features look like. You first start by creating your free account. And when you're ready, you can actually claim your email domain to ensure that there's no quote unquote rogue accounts out there, right? Secondly, you can consolidate all of your users into one account and create groups depending on your liking, whether it's a PC and IT group, maintenance, Head Start team, etc., however you'd like to set it up. You can also then set up payment management for either individuals or groups with credit card, pay by invoice, or both if you want, which is shared payment. And then lastly, you can create approval workflows if needed to help you maximize your cost savings and also drive purchasing compliance. These features, which are self-serve and can be coached to you by your customer advisors, are designed to make Amazon Business your one-stop shop to simplify buying for you. Next slide, please, Matt. We're just going to spend a couple of seconds on this on Amazon Business Analytics. For those of you, again, that are maybe in an admin role or a finance role, I'm confident that you'll be extremely pleased with the amount of analytics that are available to you within your account, whether it's simple order reports or Amazon created out-of-the-box graphs and dashboards that allow you to track your diversity spend. Whatever you need as far as the data and reporting aspect of it, will have you covered within your account. Next slide, please, Matt. So just three more, I should say, topics to briefly cover, and then we'll get into the exclusive program. So I had to call out the mobile app. So if one of the reasons that maybe you haven't used Amazon Business in the past is because you're so used to shopping from the Amazon consumer app on your phone, like myself, we have a solution for you. So we launched the Amazon Business mobile app recently in Q2 or Q3 of last year. So there's a good chance that many of you may not even know about it. If you or your account users, or if you're looking to create an account, are generally on the go, if you're travelers or just prefer to use your mobile phone over your laptop or PC, this is the perfect solution for you. It's available on the App Store. You just need to go search for it and download it. Very straightforward. Next slide, please, Matt. So this will be the end of my piece of the presentation. And I wanted to end on two features that are near and dear to me, and I'm sure to you as well, which is the ability for you to purchase products on the Amazon Business Marketplace that are sustainable, aka climate pledge friendly. That'll be the next slide, but we won't move on just yet. And also offered from diverse suppliers. So a little bit about me. Before I joined this nonprofit team as a customer advisor, I spent nearly almost 4 years with Amazon Business in a different capacity, where I was focused on recruiting, onboarding, and coaching third-party sellers. Now, these were small, medium, and enterprise businesses across the US. And I worked with them to come and sell their products on the Amazon Business Marketplace to organizations like yourself. And I can proudly say that one of my biggest accomplishments over those 4 years was working with a certified minority-owned business enterprise to help them sell on Amazon for the first time ever. And over the last 2 years, become one of our top third-party sellers in the office and break room and IT space. From discussions with many community action agencies over the last few quarters, I know that being able to purchase from credentialed suppliers, whether they're registered small business, minority-owned, women-owned, veteran-owned. In fact, we offer 14 national diversity certifications and over 150 state certifications to our sellers. I know that that's important to you. So we make it easy for you to find and surface those diverse suppliers to your organization. You can jump ahead to the next slide, Matt, which is just a snapshot of how to find the sustainable or climate pledge friendly products that I had mentioned earlier. So with that, that concludes my piece of the presentation. I want to pass it over to my colleague, Matt, who will be walking through a program, again, that's exclusive to the National Community Action Partnership members. Again, thanks for your time, thanks for your focus, and thanks for everything that you do.
Great, thank you, Pete. Again, everyone, my name is Matt Major. I'm a Senior Customer Success Manager here with our Amazon Business Professional Services team, and really appreciate the opportunity to speak today. So as Pete mentioned, this portion of the presentation is for NCAP members. Really, the call out from here on out is if you have not renewed your 2022 membership, please do so as soon as possible. Now, to do that, we ask that you refer to your National Community Action Partnership membership join and renew announcement. For your reference, here are some pictures of what that membership renew announcement looks like. So just make sure that you're taking action. Now is the time to join if you have not done so already. And as Pete mentioned, this part of the presentation is sort of the action and what do I need to do today, now. the good news is there are prizes involved. So the first 200 agencies to link their account with this association will be entered into a drawing to win 5 different prizes. So these 5 prizes are going to be awarded to 5 agencies, 3 $250 Amazon gift cards, and 2 Echo Dots. So really excited to partner with you guys and make sure that we're encouraging folks to get signed up as soon as possible. So what are the benefits of associating your account with NCAP's associated Amazon business account? And we'll go through some of these benefits here, but I just want to state that NCAP members can create a free Amazon business account or link their existing Amazon business account if you've already created one. And this will allow you to take advantage of special member benefits, including Business Prime at a steeply discounted rate. A special discount of up to 65% off the Business Prime membership is available and to eligible nonprofits, which of course you guys are one of those. So also, you have exclusive pricing and discounts on the Amazon private label products of up to 10% off. These are very popular products among all Amazon business customers, and your account, your association has an additional 10% off of those products. Each associated account is pre-approved for a pay-by-invoice credit line of up to $5,000. So another key benefit here if that helps you in your procurement process. And then finally here, wanted to talk about the curated reorder list that National Community Action Partnership has already created. And these are available for you to share and to purchase from. So these lists have already been created and have already been shared with the association. So by linking your account to that association, you have access to those curated product lists. Now, really important point, nonprofits already get a special price for Business Prime, but this program and this partnership that we have with you all, you are actually eligible for even steeper discounts on Business Prime for the first year. So again, another reason to link your account today on this call, which we'll talk about in just a second here, but special Business Prime discounts are valid only for the first year. After that, the pricing does revert to the standard nonprofit Business Prime rate, which is still fantastic, but we want to make sure that you all are getting every dime out of this benefit. And again, the action for you all is to link your account right now, today. And we'll talk about that in a couple slides from now. So wanted to show everybody how to access those special product lists. So lists are a feature that many folks are used to in their personal life, and yes, they do work, and they are available on the business account. So you can see here in the screenshot to the left, I'm accessing lists, which is a drop-down menu, and lists tend to live in the top right of the screen, usually right next to where it says hello and then your name. So by clicking that drop-down menu, you'll notice that one of the options I have is that there is a list shared by my lead entity, which of course is the Association for NCAP. So that is where the curated product lists live. And again, once you have linked your account, you'll have access to those curated product lists. So Jovita and team and Denise have sent out the e-newsletter announcement this today. So it should all be fresh, hopefully near the top of your inbox. And I want everyone on this call right now to pull that up and reference it, because there is an action for you all right now on this call. And it does involve that e-newsletter that you should have received today. So all members, please take action right now on this call. We want you to click on that link in the NCAP Amazon Business e-newsletter announcement. That special link that I'm referencing and that I want everyone to click on right now is in the Get Started Today section of the e-newsletter announcement. The link says NCAP Associated Amazon Business Account. So we want you to click on that link right now. If you've never accessed Amazon with your member email address, please click option number 1, create new account. If you have accessed Amazon.com in the past with your member email, please click option 2, which is convert existing account. Now, if you have accessed Amazon Business, again, to quote Pete, emphasis on the word business. This is a very different thing. And if you have accessed Amazon Business in the past with your member email address, I want everyone to click join with existing Amazon Business account. Okay. Now, when prompted, everyone is going to have to enter National Community Action Partnership's verification code, which you will also see right in that e-newsletter announcement that you should have received today. Now, here are screenshots for what the process looks like. Now, obviously, there is that fork in the road choice for folks to select the option that is most appropriate for their situation, depending on how they've accessed Amazon using their member email in the past. But you can see at the right-hand side of the slide, all paths lead to the part where it asks you for the verification code. This is very important, and you can reference that code and enter it in. That code is contained in the e-newsletter announcement, again, that you should have received today. So everyone wants to win prizes. I want everyone to make sure that they're taking action, clicking on the link in the e-newsletter, entering in the verification code, and you know, who doesn't love a $250 gift card to Amazon or an Echo Dot? So sign up right now on this call, and let's hand out some of those prizes. And with that, this is the part of the presentation that Pete referenced, that we're going to open it up to some Q&A. Pete, do you want to field some of the Q&A that I see? We've got some in the chat here.
Yeah, sure. And a shout out to, thank you, Matt, so much. If there were questions about clicking through those links and entering any part of the code there, feel free to drop that into the chat as well too. But I also wanted to thank my colleague, Nick, for helping with some of the Q&A piece of it. So I'm just getting caught up here to look at what has been unanswered in our Q&A. So, well, I'll quickly recap for those of you. I think there was a little bit of confusion as to how, if you have an existing Amazon business account today, how you link it. I believe that that's already been answered. It appears that there's maybe, let me see, one unanswered question here about complying with procurement procedures. So Nick, looked like just literally 30 seconds ago, answered that to the best of our ability. So let me tackle the first piece of it. So for purchases over a threshold, you're required to obtain minimum of 3 bids. So from customers that I've worked with in the past, apologies if this doesn't apply to you directly, but anytime you're actually looking at an Amazon listing or a product, what we'll call a product detail page, you know, there's a picture of the image, information about it, the list price, the option to add to your cart. If you scroll down, maybe 2 or 3 scrolls, if you will, you'll see that there's comparable products to it that are actually listed there. It's listed for that purpose, but also to give you an opportunity to shop around similar products or maybe other suppliers or other brands. From discussions I've had with community action agencies or nonprofits in general, they've said that just simply going through that process has been sufficient. The RFP or RFQ piece, I believe, will need to be worked out directly with your customer advisor. So I'd urge you to maybe start by emailing myself first, and we can have a discussion on that. Speaking of which, I don't believe that we have contact information, at least for myself, in the chat. If that is accurate, I'm going to just go ahead and put my contact info into the chat right now. And if there's any other Q&A as we go through, I'm just going through the open piece of it too. There was another question about the proposal, so we'll need to take that offline. And Regina, trying to click through, it says that you're not authorized to join the account. Check your permissions or contact an admin. It may be, if you are a user and not an admin, it may not be letting you get through to it. So why don't I work with you directly to go ahead and get that set up? Again, my contact info is coming in the chat right now. I'll work with you one-on-one to get that squared away. I'll give it a second because it sounds as though hopefully many of you are actually going through the association piece right now. So I'll just hang on a sec to see if you have questions. But thank you, Denise, for also putting in the membership confirmation steps as well too, because that's an important piece of this process.
So do we think that we've walked through most of the questions at this point?
I believe so, Denise. I think the questions that have gone unanswered will need to be addressed maybe one-on-one with either myself or one of the customer advisors that are assigned to the Community Action Agency. So yes, I feel confident that we have the bulk of the Q&A wrapped up.
Great. And you checked in the Q&A box as well? I know some people put them into there in addition to the chat.
That's where I was looking actually, was the Q&A box. Yeah.
So take a read through the chat too as well, because it looks like there's a lot of conversation there. And yeah, please email Jovita, everybody. If you aren't on our email list, we want to make sure you get on our e-news list. And again, this is only open to members of the Community Action Partnership. And we know it's renewal season, and many of you have been members historically, and it just may be a moment to, oh, we have to renew our 2022 dues and that sort of thing. So now is the time to make sure those ducks are in a row. And if you have any questions, again, you can reach out to Jovita Tolbert in our office, as well as Madison Wicks in our office. And their email addresses are up on our website, communityactionpartnership.com. So Pete, as you go through the chat, do you see any hanging questions that we haven't gotten to yet?
Yes, just one, but I think it's a really good opportunity for me to clarify, because I think some of the questions, the essence of them, there may be some confusion. So Robin, your question specifically was about order history, right? And when I scroll up, it's, you know, if you create or link to this new account, will your order history be there? The short answer is yes. So if you are an existing National Community Action Partnership member and you go through the steps of linking your account, really what you're doing is on the back end of it, just letting us know that you're associated to the partnership. What that allows us to do is to offer you exclusive benefits. So there's nothing fundamentally that changes with your account. You don't lose access to anything. If anything, you'll get these additional exclusive benefits. So your order history and anything else will remain the same. And that goes for anyone else wondering about, if I go ahead and link my account, what will change? The short answer is nothing, with the exception of these awesome benefits of the 2,000 or so discounted products that you'll get, the even further discounted Business Prime. And if you don't already have a line of credit, you'll automatically pre-approved for $5,000 pay by invoice.
Great, thank you. And as people are looking to spend down CSBG Cares money, I'm just going to put that plug out there. Supplies, PPE, food, diapers, all sorts of things, right, that are available on the Amazon site certainly fall within the category of helping families respond, recover from, and prepare for any impact from COVID-19. And we know that with inflation, we know with all sorts of increased expense, things are increasing in expense, right? So as local community action agencies, what can you do to leverage this opportunity to spend down your CSBG Cares, as well as generate, put in more supplies into your organization than perhaps you would have been able to previously. Pete has been great to work with. I know he's going to be hands-on, high touch with our member agencies. So please, and I know Pete put his email address into the chat, please reach out to the Amazon team. They want to be there to help you to navigate all of these pieces behind the scenes, and we want you to be successful with that. I also, Pete, I don't know if you had a chance to talk a little bit about some of the bulk purchasing bigger items around a state association model, if there's anything you'd want to share there. And I may have missed it. I did have to check something while I was away from the microphone for a little bit. So.
Yeah, thanks again, Denise, and thanks again for everyone for your time, and patience, consideration. But the bulk piece of it, yes, we covered the several of the tools that are available just automatically as an Amazon business customer. Maybe this is a good opportunity too, since I actually have, looking at my schedule, I've had calls with many of you, at least in the Pacific Northwest over the last week and upcoming. One thing that we are focused on, when I say we, I mean the 4 of us customer advisors that are working almost exclusively with community action agencies this year, is helping you stretch your grant dollars. So whether it's light heat weatherization and you're looking for portable AC units in bulk, we're prepared to help you with that. If it's Head Start funding, whatever grant dollars that you're getting, we are here to help you stretch those dollars, whether it be bulk purchasing across any category. So the second part of this presentation today, where you can link your account and get access to 2,000 discounted products, that's great for everyday buying. Anything outside of that, with your grant dollars where you need to spend it and maybe save to reinvest into your cause, feel free to reach out to us so we can help you out there.
So rarely do we get a webinar where we talk about bulk purchasing of air conditioning units for weatherization. So, and we know many of you have to deal with, you have your own procurement rules, your own purchasing policies and things like that. So we want you to certainly live within your current rules and regulations at your organization. So just wanted to flag that though, for those of you who have some flexibility there. And thinking ahead for supply chain issues, now is the time, right, to really put those pieces into motion, because the clock is ticking on all of those spend down dollars. And it's not about just about spending down, it's about finding effective and efficient ways to meet the needs in our community. So that's really where the focus sits with community action. So thank you, everybody. And I'm seeing a lot of folks in the chat wanting to make sure they have their membership lined up, and that we have contact information for Jovita, again, Pete, everybody, Nick. Okay, good. I'm just scrolling through the chat myself. So is there anything else we want to cover, Pete and Matt, before we sign off here today?
No, nothing from me. Just really appreciate everyone's time, and just excited to be getting going with you guys, and excited to see who won the prizes as well. So we'll be in touch with that information in the coming days, I'm sure.
Great.
One thing I did want to call out regarding the prizes too, if you are one of the agencies, I believe there were maybe 25 to 30 since the original email went out to members on the 24th of February to link their account. Since then, we've had around 30 agencies link. If you had already done that, you are already included in this contest to win a gift card. So fret not, you're already in the pool of participants there. So I didn't want you to think we forgot about you.
Because there's nothing we like more than fabulous prizes there. So that's good to know that people's names are in the hat, as it were. And that flags for me that we so appreciate also Amazon sponsorship as part of our working relationship together. You'll be with us in New York City the last week of August. Vendor table, fabulous prizes, all sorts of good stuff. So we hope that we will see everybody on the webinar here today at our conference the last week in August as well. So with that, I think we're going to go ahead and sign off for today's webinar. We will be sending this out to everybody along with the slide deck. You'll have everybody's contact information. Sometimes early, setting up these relationships can be a little bit bumpy behind the scenes when you're trying to set up this account to this account. But I know many of you are very experienced at this and will find a way. So again, thank you, Pete. Thank you, Matt. We appreciate you. Thanks to your team. And with that, we're going to go ahead and sign off, everybody. Thanks so much for everything you do, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.